Hey there everyone, another exciting day in the markets today. I have in this video progress on the NVDA stock price prediction, the Tesla stock price prediction, also QQQ, SPY, IWM, where I could think they could go, something for us to watch out for that could set up that next big move that we're looking for. It involves a little bit of red, but should result in a lot more green coming our way. So stay tuned for this. By the way, Ethereum price prediction as well in this video. And you guys can see my commentary, my technicals, my buys and sells over at the Discord. Links in the description. I'll tell you more later. For right now, jumping over to the Qs. Check this out. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. As we look at QQQ, I've mentioned that there's a gap to fill given these past two trading days, which have been really fun to watch and really fun to take advantage of. We left a gap in between. Oftentimes those gaps get filled. Why is this gap important? Well, because what we have is a ceiling tested, at least for the moment, but what we don't have right now is a floor tested for us. And you'll notice all the chop that we have to the left over here, that's going to be tight for us to get up into. Now, mind you, we absolutely can. The RSI right now, just barely in the 50 to 70 range, staying out of that overbought territory. If we go out to the weekly chart, here's something important to watch. We kept above, or we broke above, I should say, this week, the 50-week and the 20-week. That means that there could be a reversion to the mean happening before we set up that next big move. So I think that there could be a potential for us to test a floor before we start looking for where that next ceiling is. What we're looking for, if we are going to test the floor on this thing, we want to keep on putting in higher lows, and of course we want to return to those higher highs. Look at this, by the way, importantly on this chart here, I got the simple moving averages. I said the 20 crossing the 50 was extremely important for us to see from a bullish perspective. We absolutely got that. Early signs of this, by the way, were brought to you by the simple moving averages. I said that the 13 crossing the 50 was a huge bullish sign, and just look where it led to. So if you've been watching my channel, I think that you really did enjoy that ride up, especially if you were able to take advantage of some of the information that I bring to you. And if it did help you out, please put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Looking at SPY, we don't have the 20 crossing the 50 yet. We're in the same situation where we have a gap to fill all the way down to about the 200-day. Now, mind you, I don't think that even though that would be some near-term pain, I think that overall it would leave us that higher high. It would show us that the 200-day is a floor for us, and I think it gives us a higher launching point for when that next ceiling comes in, as long as the good news keeps on rolling out. And that good news should be in the form of subdued inflation reports, should be able to ease some monetary policy over time, especially if the labor market proves to continue to be stable, or if it shows just a little bit but not a lot of weakness, just something to get the Fed a little bit nervous, where they're like, maybe we should put in a little bit of a rate cut here. Not too nervous though, where it points to recession, because one of the things that is allowing to this downward pressure to come off besides the trade deal talks is the idea that recession is actually not necessarily in the cards yet, if ever. Now, mind you, that's the market's take on it, and that's the market sentiment, why we see the market coming up the way that it is so far. Lots of positive news pushing it upward from here. We'll probably hit a moment where we have to rest a little bit. We have to find out where that floor is. Even if we don't necessarily have the ceiling yet, I will tell you, look at this horizontal line. I can put it across here for you. Click on horizontal line, click on that bottom, and you'll notice this bottom that happens to be a low of 588.72 happened to be a high on here of 589. So pretty darn close to exactly where that bottom is, where we're finding that top. And just like with the Qs, look at all that chop that we have up above. This could lead to a new all-time high. We'll see if it does. By the way, wait until we get to Bitcoin. We have a similar gap for IWM. Now, mind you, Russell 2000 getting beat up, but just like SPY, we don't have the 20 crossing the 50 yet. But when it does come our way, my friends, that is going to be hugely bullish for us. If we put up the EMAs instead on the daily chart, we have the 13 just about to cross the 50. So if we pull back and test the 5, that's this green line that you have here, then this whole ketchup and mustard, the red for 50, yellow for 13. If we get that 13 crossing up over the 50, once again, bullish sign, especially if we test the floor, that floor holds up for us, that gives us a higher launching point to reach for even higher peaks than what we previously had. Now, mind you, retracing a little bit, having a little bit of trouble overcoming this previous peak. But if we do put in that higher high, which, mind you, what price do we peak out at? 209.27, and it looks like 209.73 and 209.61. So we actually have a slightly higher high than what's over here. We'll see if we get a little bit of dip in that. That could actually set us up for an inverse head and shoulders, which actually be really nice to see, because that's a very, very deep head that we have there up to a neckline that's pretty darn high up above that. So that means that that could put us back up with these previous peaks that we saw before, if that were indeed to play out. NVIDIA, I said progress, I would show you on my price prediction of 143.96. I said we had to make it over 125. That was the line that we had to break. Today we did it, and we did it on good volume, closing today at 129.93, so almost 130. We definitely peaked up above that. The peak on this was 131.22, so we got this. Now we have green light for that. We might stop by 133.74. Watch for that as your next resistance on NVIDIA. For Tesla, I said 343 was a price tag where we could hit so far based off the last movement. Today, we peaked out at 337. We were within about $6 of this price target that I have on here for you. So 343.48 is what we're looking for Tesla, actually 343.42. Going over to Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin, what do we have on the charts right here? Let me stretch that out for you so you can really see what's going on. Based on this last movement that we have, we could see that move finally above 109.356. We take that, we have green lights up to about 114,000 per BTC, which would be new all-time highs, my friend. We'll see. We got that launching point, that floor right at about 100,000. That's a good, strong move for us. Now to keep that momentum going, a little bit overbought on the daily RSI. Weekly, very ripe in between 50 and 70. Monthly, kind of just south of 70. So we're keeping an eye on that. XRP, finally, let me hit connect here. There we are. And reset the view so we can really see where we're at right now with our price action. And we're actually just above this most recent ray that we have right here. And if I take down the technicals and show you a little bit of what it looks like to the left of that, you can see that we're getting to the top of this buying pressure. So if we're able to close up above 255, and it looks like we might be able to do that being at 258 right now, if we're able to close up above that, then we could have that green light that takes us up to $3. And after that, my friends, takes us up to that 340. We could be seeing that move to new all-time highs for XRP. Once again, if the momentum holds out for us, ETH has a nice, pretty pattern here for us. Before this candle moved up as high as it did, I said earlier today over in the Discord, I said we might have a move leading us here. My Ethereum price prediction for this up to about $3,300 per ETH. So that's based off of this move that we see right now, that we could see that massive resistance up there. We could have some stops between 2,700 and 2,900 for Ethereum. And like I said, over at the Discord, I shared these analyses, I shared these predictions. They're already available. I go over there, I talk to the community. I'm one of the expert panelists. Me and a bunch of other people got together in this Discord, sharing our knowledge, information, trades, analyses, you name it, and interacting with that community of thousands of members. It's a highly positive place to be. You guys can find yourselves over there as well by using the link in the description. Sign up for the earner tiers to get unrestricted access so you can see the expert channels. You can chat with the experts. You can also see the general stock talk, crypto talk, options talk, you name it. It's all over there for you. And you can even see the Trade Wins channel, that you can see the celebration that people are experiencing over there with either adding alpha to their portfolios or reaching towards that financial freedom with the support that they receive over in the Discord. We'd love to have you over there as part of the community. Like I said, links in the description. Guys, thank you very much. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.